Hello, welcome to my first video on my YouTube channel. Anyone that knows me knows I am absolutely bonkers about sprouting. Absolutely love it. I can't understand why more people don't do it. For like a few pence, you can have like fresh organic greens made in your kitchen year round with zero skill. Like the most nutrient dense, most amazing food on the planet, made in your kitchen in the space of like a placemat. Most people aren't interested. It boggles my mind, but there we go. We're all different, I get it. So anyway, so today we're going to be talking through a couple of methods of sprouting that I use. There's many ways to do it sprouting. It's not like the only way you have to do it. If you don't do this, it won't work. Nothing like that. Really, it's a seed, and as long as it's got access to moisture and it can drain that moisture in sort of a sort of ambient temperature, then it will sprout. Life will find a way. So there's many ways of sprouting. We'll be discussing the two main ways that I use. Right, so we're going, first of all, I got the jar. This is probably the most widely used method. Here's one that's been on the go for sort of 3 or 4 days, maybe 5 days. So you just fill the seeds up, put the seeds in the jar and water them, and then it's got the top, so you just leave it upside down and let the moisture drain out. Do that twice a day, morning and night. 6 days, you'll have a whole jar full of sprouts. And then we have my other way is the drainer. We just put the seeds on the tray, water the top, water filters through a system. It's got like if you can see it in there, probably can't, a little red siphoner where the water falls through. So both of these are really good ways of sprouting. For me, they've both got sort of pros and cons. I find with this is my experience with this tray thing, is that if you're not careful, the water can get clogged up in there, doesn't siphon down the hole well enough. And in the winter, I find that's okay. But in the summer, if your room's a bit too warm, I find that the sprouts are very easy to go a bit bad in this. And you will know when your sprouts go bad because they smell. If the sprouts don't smell good, then don't eat them. So because the water kind of pools in it a little bit. So I find in the summer I struggle with this one. So I always keep it right out of the way of the sun, right in a very shady corner of the kitchen. You don't need light at all. You can just do this absolutely in darkness. I choose a little shady corner I got down here. Doesn't really get any sun at all. And I try and water them, and that's good. And the advantage of these, obviously, is you can stack loads on. Like I've got more trays. I've got about 5 of them. You water once it filters through. You're watering all your sprouts with just like one little water. That's really good. And plus, I love the way it crops. Like I love the way you get like a, do you know what I mean? Like a nice kind of individual sprouts like that. That's one of my favourite things about this way, the convenience. Whereas with the jar, they kind of grow in a clump, which is absolutely fine. It's not a problem. It's just you have to sort of separate them out a little bit. It's just, I don't know, there's something nice about the way they grow in the tray. But like I say, I do find in the summer I tend to gravitate more towards the jars and use this more in the winter. Again, it depends. Like if you're using like a larger seed in these trays, the water's less likely to get clogged. As long as you overfill them, you can get away with it. But that's just, it's a risk. Like the other day, because I leave for work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. So obviously watered it quickly. I don't get back sometimes until like gone 8:30 at night. So that's like 14 hours. And the water had clogged in it. So the whole seeds have been sitting in that water all day. And it was like wasn't like mega hot. It was like, I don't know, 20 degrees outside. In the kitchen would have been cooler, and the sprouts had gone bad. They were sitting in that water all day. So that's the concern with that. Right, enough waffling on. So we're going to be getting some sprouts out and doing some sprouting. Right, move the camera around. Today we're going to be doing 2 different types of sprouts. We've got the organic China rose radish seeds. It's like a red sort of radish sprout, and they grow really fast. These, like literally within 3 days, they're like, you can eat them. Some of these ones. And they're just really quick growers. And then I got the broccoli sprout, and this is probably the most kind of widely known, the widely sprouted sprout. And in fact, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of research papers on this type of sprout. I'm not going to go and say like it cures cancer. That'd probably be like a miss of me. But there's a lot of evidence that eating this kind of food is full of a chemical called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane. Got that close enough. And well, I can't say it next to it. Cures cancer. It helps provide a healthy body where cancer will struggle to thrive. I think there's enough research there to say that. But of course, you're going to look up yourself if you don't believe me. But so really, these really are like essential, life-giving, healthy foods that really recommend having in your diet. So we're going to be doing the broccoli and the radish. So we've got a 1 kilo bag here. This cost me, I don't know, maybe £20 for this 1 kilo bag. but that will probably last for easily, well, obviously depending on how you use it, but 2 years easily. So for really low money, you're having this amazing food in your life all the time. Right, enough going on. So actually first I'm going to use these, so I'll rip these open. Now these are from a company in England called Sky Sprouts. Not necessarily the cheapest, I find their quality is really good. And you do ideally want to be buying seeds that have been cultivated for sprouting. You don't. Other seeds obviously will sprout, but they go through a different sort of process, and they should be, in theory, the best quality seeds and get a better yield out of them. That's what they say. And to be honest with you, I have sprouted with seeds that aren't for sprouting, and they do work. But sometimes you'll get one that hasn't haven't germinated very well. So I do recommend buying the sprouting seeds. I use Sky Sprouts, and they're really good. And they are more expensive than some of the you can buy on Amazon. But it's a local company down in the southwest of England, and the quality is brilliant. Like I say, it's expensive, but they last for so long that I don't mind spending the money. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so we are going to. I got a teaspoon here, a tablespoon measuring. It don't have to be exact. These really do. All sprouts will grow a lot, so you don't need to overdo it. Really, 1 tablespoon is going to be more than enough in there, like that. Then I'm just going to pop it on top of my other ones, like this. And so struggle, I actually need to take these ones underneath, get rid of them, but I'll do that after the video. So then we just give them a water. You don't need to use filtered water. Tap water is absolutely fine. Hard as I'm holding this up. There we go, and then the water will just filter through. It'll water all those ones underneath it, and just do that twice a day, morning and night. A few days time, you've got a massive crop of radish sprouts. Bloody brilliant. Excuse my French. Right, just going to do that. Now the other thing is, a lot of people say to soak your seeds, and there's nothing wrong with soaking your seeds. Personally, I don't tend to bother. Actually, I will do a video one day where I compare whether soaked seeds sprout quicker than non-soaked ones. I don't tend to bother. I just water them from dry, and they work. Maybe whether they sprout quicker if you soak them, I don't know. It's something I do want to find out, but you don't have to. If you do want to, go ahead. And of course, if you're using the jar, soaking is easier. You can just leave the jar this way up for the first 8-12 hours, and then soak them easier. With that, it's more difficult. You have to soak them in a separate vessel, if that makes sense. Right, so we do these ones. Again, you don't want to put too many in. Again, we're going to go for a tablespoon of the broccoli sprouts. In that. And we got these lids. There's all different sort of contraptions and lids and jars you can buy on Amazon. These are good. I said use the tap water that time. Give them a good shiggly wiggly. Again, like I say, you could leave these to soak. I'm not going to for the sake of this video. And then pour the water out. Then I tend to just try and sort of then shake them up. They're kind of like in a sort of line like that. And then literally, so this is my setup here. It's literally just IKEA draining rack. Then just put them on there. Then they're at an angle and they'll drain. And then I just got like an oven tray here that the water's drained into, which I'll empty. Every sort of 2 or 3 days, really, that'll fill up. I do that twice a day, and then you're there. So yeah, so just like that. So these ones are ready to be harvested. So we'll just take those out. So we're watering them in the morning, water them in the evening. If you're around, you can water them in the morning. I kind of think if you give them a third water, they grow a bit quicker. But not essential, because I'm at work all day, so they don't tend to get. I know I say that's probably been on the go for about a week now. I find mine tend to take about 6-7 days. A lot of people say 4 or 5. For me, whatever reason, seems to take a bit longer. But you'll find your own sort of groove, really. And so they don't want to be in direct sunlight because they're very susceptible to going bad. Because of course, if you've had a seed in the soil, in the sun, the sort of soil absorbs the moisture. And but obviously with this, because they're going to be quite wet, they don't get on well with direct sun because they'll go bad quite quickly. That said, when you do want to, after they've been going a few days, when they're not directly after watering, maybe when they've sort of drained off nicely, you can put them in the sun for a little bit, then they'll start to photosynthesize, and you'll get and you'll get that sort of green, go a bit more green, which can be a nice thing to do. But you don't have to. These, like, see how green they are. They haven't been in the sun at all. They haven't seen any sun. They just seem sort of, shaded light in the kitchen. So yeah, we're going to harvest these ones now. These are broccoli sprouts, I think. So that's what the broccoli sprouts will turn into. Haven't got any radish sprouts to show you. These ones I think are, these ones are alfalfa sprouts. So they're ready to go as well. And I got some kohlrabi as well down here, which we're gonna get these ones ready to go as well. Okay, so I'll get that sorted and we'll come back in a minute. Right, change the angle again to see my hands now. So this is how we're going to harvest our sprouts. This is what I tend to do. You don't have to spin them, but I find if you spin them, they last a lot longer in the fridge because you get all that moisture out. See what I mean by the jar? They kind of come out in this clump, this funny sort of clump. So you can sort of separate them a little bit. Obviously the ones in the middle are a bit not so green because they haven't got to they haven't had as much light as the other ones. As you can see, so that's like one tablespoon, sorry. Maybe I use a bit more in that batch, but that's how many sprouts we've got out of that 1 tablespoon of seeds. So, I mean, wow. So I'd like to put them in the spinner, bake them up a little bit, might edit some of this out. You're not going to want to see me do this. But just look, I mean, just look how much you got. I find it amazing. Like this has literally cost like, I don't know, 25p, something like that. I haven't worked out exactly, but like 30 pence or something like that. I've invested like 40 seconds in the morning and 40 seconds in the evening consistently for a week, and this is what you've got. One of the most healthy foods you can possibly eat with 0 food miles. I mean, my God, why is everyone not doing this? Anyway, there we are. So, in there, you know how a silent spinner works. Really spin. And then, so you've quite a lot of moisture, I don't know if you can see that in the bottom there. So although they appear quite dry, they do hold quite a lot of moisture in them, especially in a clump like that. Okay, another spin to get the last little bits out. Boom. So got a little bit more out, a bit more moisture, and then I'll put them in the fridge. I'm going to go down so you can see me. Hello. Yes, if I become a YouTuber, I'm going to have to work out my sort of camera angles a bit better. I get that. It's just a first try. Right, and then I pop them in a Tupperware, pop them in the fridge. And to be honest with you, I actually find, say 3 or 4 days, actually I've got sometimes they last more than the week. As long as you get the most moisture out as you can, they really will last a long time in the fridge. Be guided by your nose. If they start to smell a bit funky, then you probably know that's where they're, but yeah, really they do last longer than you'd imagine. So pop them in there, pop them in the fridge, and good to go. And we're going to do the same with our, I've got a feeling these are kohlrabi seeds. Well, they could be, that's the problem, I don't label them and I forget what I planted. It could be red cabbage. Anyway, whatever they are. Well, I actually don't know. So do the same with these. And yeah, and that's going to be great. If you do like and subscribe on the channel, we're going to be doing some recipes, some more sprouting, doing some fermenting, bits and bobs. I'm really interested to make a sprout-based kimchi. That's going to be, I think, I've never seen anyone else do that. That's going to be one of my sort of next things I'm going to be doing. So that's me over and out for the day, and I'll edit this together. And that's my first video. So get sprouting. Go on, why not? Do it. Invest some time in your food. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'll stop preaching now. Honestly, I'm not an evangelist. All I suppose I am when it comes to sprouting. Anyway, I'm waffling. Like and subscribe. Cheers.